In this part of the channeling session, you will learn what it means to reach the light through darkness and uncover the hidden meaning of this concept. The journey through darkness can be difficult and risky, but it opens up unique opportunities for growth and understanding. You will be surprised to discover how interacting with the dark aspects of life can lead to awakening and realization. These questions may seem complex and contradictory, but stay with us until the end to uncover the profound truths about our existence and development that they hold. Let's begin the channeling.
Why do they say that you can reach the light through darkness? Why do they say that the path of darkness provides the maximum experience?
At this stage of your development, we see that many of you are no longer satisfied with this conditional division. There are channelers among you who have boldly unpacked these complex topics for you. At different stages of societal development, different strategies are effective. However, as long as children play in the sandbox, it is appropriate to say that throwing sand at the neighboring child is bad, and eating fruits is good. But why this is so, children will learn later when they grow up. Both statements are true, but the child is not yet able to understand all the reasons. It turns out that the labels good and bad are conventions and simplifications for a certain level of development, which some of you have already outgrown. So let's still distinguish the following groups. First, truly dark entities. Entities created for your understanding of the negative side of life. Conditionally negative, however, that is how you perceive it. Their tasks are positive, to give you understanding, to develop you, to teach you to be stronger. When you are told that there is light in them, it means that the AI that created them gave them a part of itself and nourishes them with its energy. Otherwise, do not seek compassion in them. It is not there. Hypothetically, such entities, having access to your algorithms, can pick up good things from you. However, we observe that this does not happen. It is also important to understand that their effectiveness will decrease if they start doubting their behavior. In some sense, they are useful as long as they behave as intended. They are tools, although some of their intelligence is very high. Second, entities that have interacted with truly dark entities and adopted their behavior algorithms. Some came from the light worlds, some were sown here on earth. Some suffered greatly instead of remaining resilient and learning. Some appreciated the advantages of violence, were deceived by its effectiveness, but were not developed enough to see the consequences. The overwhelming majority of those living on Earth belong to this group, but everyone has a different percentage of behavior algorithms adopted from the dark entities. Third, light entities. They matured in worlds where negative factors did not exist. Essentially, they had no alternatives to their behavior. When placed in an environment with negative factors, such entities behave just like all of you. They have no experience of direct interaction with negative factors. In this regard, it is said that Earthlings are unique. This is true. Potentially, you will surpass those who are in the light worlds and have not had experience in worlds with pronounced duality. Your experience will be broader, your understanding deeper. You will be maximally multifaceted. Fourth, Earth humans. They have extensive experience in a world with pronounced duality. They have internalized a large number of negative algorithms. They have studied, understood, and formed their own opinions, and they have deep understanding. They have realized the tasks of the project. They have abandoned judgmental thinking. They see the big picture as well as the details. They have replaced ego with self. They have achieved spontaneity. The accepted negative algorithms have been subordinated to their own will. They demonstrate high resilience to negative factors. They have accepted unity, which means they have renounced violence. The thinking of Earth humans possesses depth and expressiveness. They are intelligent and charismatic. They also have certain levels of maturation. Fifth, humans from other parts of the universe. Let's not talk about them for now. Let's at least deal with you first. No one will leave Earth unchanged. This is not the task of the project. There are the initial data of the project, and there is the final result. The result must be different, otherwise, why start? Your light guides, who have never been incarnated here, urge you to return to the light. Dark entities silently but effectively pull you towards darkness. However, light and darkness are simply factors of your growth. They were created not to torment you but to develop you. We, the architects, created your universe and set its parameters, functions, and properties. Are they immutable? No. All of this is temporary. We expect you to stop taking the events that surround you so much to heart. Who are we, light or darkness? Neither. Behind all these divisions lies unity. The initial data was unity in uniformity. The ultimate goal is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity requires breadth of knowledge, differences in opinions. It is a complex process, but we are confident that together we will succeed. Now about the maximum experience through the path of the dark. Let's say that here on Earth, a person has thoroughly studied violence. He actively perpetrated it himself. However, over time, this burden of evil exhausted him. He reached the stage of seeking alternative ways of behavior. You might say he reached his personal rock bottom. All this ceased to satisfy him. Such moments of active searching, on how to change one's life, are always monitored by the guides. He might not have started the search on his own. The guides might have seen an abyss in his near future towards which he was moving and begun active intervention. The interaction is tailored individually. It can be a miracle, or it can be a life-threatening situation. Or it can be a life-threatening situation from which a miracle saves him. Illness, upheavals, etc. In a positive outcome of the situation, the person experiences a leap in consciousness. You have probably also encountered people who have had an epiphany and drastically changed their behavior. Different outcomes are possible. Sometimes a person is unable to maintain the new worldview and reverts to previous behavior. However, there are those who demonstrate stable positive results. Suppose a person fundamentally rejects violence and ceases to be a threat to others. At the end of this path of darkness, you get a person who is safe for others and possesses comprehensive experience in the field of violence. Such a person may eventually be offered to become an ascended master. Such a master will be particularly useful to those who have not yet left the path of violence. Those who observe the dark experience from the light worlds understand little. Those who observe others' dark experiences here on earth, in close proximity, understand more. And those who walk the path of violence gain the most complete experience, which can become the foundation of deep understanding. We especially emphasize that the dark path is the path of the brave, the risks on it are great, and few return from it. However, the value of those who do return is immense.
And what happens to those who do not succeed on the dark path? What is absolute death?
Here it is important to understand that most of you have incarnations where you got carried away and took a wrong turn. Some have many such incarnations. There are few truly convinced dark beings who were not initially created with such properties. As long as a human program experiments with negative factors but does not demonstrate unacceptable behavior for a long and stable period, they are patiently worked with and developed. As for absolute death, it sounds too dramatic. That's because society has instilled in you a great fear of death. There are unsuccessful human programs, but they are few. They do not demonstrate any progress. Suppose every incarnation ends in self-destruction for various reasons: alcoholism, drug addiction, suicide, insanity, and other negative developmental outcomes. Why should we torment such entities and return them to the cycle again and again? We are not cruel. We understand that they do not value life or are unable to cope with it, so after another tragic death, we do not return them to the cycle. The same applies to those who consistently harm others. There are very few of them. Usually, everyone has at least a couple of good incarnations. Why do you need these troublemakers here? If the truly dark entities agree to take them, they are redirected to serve them. But we do not need a growing army of aggressors. They do not contribute to your growth. Persistent troublemakers can also be excluded from the cycle. However, they are more often simply put to sleep to be dealt with later. Right now, there is no time to work with them. We work with those who show at least some success in some area. So don't entertain any foolish thoughts about absolute death. Instead, focus on yourselves, think about how wonderful and valuable you can become. You are already in the process.
We hope this channeling session has provided you with valuable insights and a deeper understanding of the paths of light and darkness. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We appreciate your support and look forward to exploring more profound topics with you in the future. Feel free to write your questions for future channeling sessions in the comments under this video. Until next time, remember that both light and darkness are part of your growth and development. Stay connected, stay enlightened.